Hey, Greg Capricorn here of Denver, Colorado, doing a review on my 2023 Targa 19 Tournament Edition. Just got it about 6 months ago. I've had it out a couple times, so I want to go over the performance of it. And before we get started, though, I want to give a shout out to Bass Pro, specifically to Josh Wilford, who is the general manager, sales manager, and service manager for the boat and the ATVs. Excellent guy to work with. I bought 2 boats from him, and you know, always there, always available, real professional. Then you had Trevor Thibodeau. Sorry, Trevor, if I messed that name up, but he's in service. He's a technician, excellent technician. Really knows things. Really good with customers. I'll talk more about him as I show you some of the stuff in the boat. Cody Ralph, you know, he helped with the 2 Helix 9s I have. I'm not too competent when it comes to automation, but he took me through that, networked everything, and got it all done. And then Rob Potre, who's a finance specialist, walked me through everything, kept me up to speed on everything as we went through it. So shout out to those guys. They did an excellent job, and I'm going to point out things on the boat that they do, because when the boat comes in from the factory, there's an awful lot of stuff that they have to do, especially if you get a lot of accessories. And I got just about every accessory you could get on the boat I got. So I'll talk more about that and how well they did and the performance that they did, and how everything works. So with that, we're going to take a tour around the front of the boat. The 23 has had some real enhancements over the 21. You know, so I'm going to point out some things that I did myself, but stuff that also comes from the factory. So I put a bigger roller on here, a lot beefier. This is a big boat, so when you're trying to move it around the garage, you really need something that's sturdy. A couple of things they did to the trailer that I really like is previously this was just one arm and it was slanted down, and they were having problems with it cracking at the weld. I was actually going to do this on my previous boat before I traded it in, but they put this on, which really makes it a lot beefier. I don't think they're going to have any problems with that cracking on the trailer for the mount for the crank. The other thing is this step system over here, which is really nice, really easy to get up into. Before they had 1 step, 2 step, and then you had to get over and negotiate the trolling motor, you know, or trip over it, plus your monitor. So that's really super nice. It's super easy to do. It doesn't get in the way when you're towing or anything else. So yeah, really nice work there. I put a Droto latch system on it. Some of you may have seen my previous video I did about 6 weeks ago on this. It works really slick. I don't have the arm on because I don't travel with it, but if you haven't seen that, you can see that on YouTube too, under installing Droto on a bunk system. That's what it's listed under. So we'll move on around the outside of the boat here. I added these front, aft, and on the transom in the back. You know, sometimes when the wind's blowing, you can get that fronting going one way and get it off just a little bit, and it makes it that much harder to get it up on. So I added those. These are the wheels that came with it. I put the lug nuts on it just to give it a little spice. And then I also put the diamond plating on myself as well. So that doesn't come with it from factory. Coming around to the back here, see, I put the 9.9 on there as well, and I got the big 225 motor, the biggest one you can get with this. I put a skeg guard on here. So if you can see it over here on this side, Tyson, it's you know, it's chrome, stainless steel, really protects your skeg. So I did that from the get-go. I added these for your transom cut tie downs, really easy, you know, come off and on, real slick. So, and then one of the things that they did also on the 23 is that the transponder on the aft or on the transom is bigger than it was on the 21, because the Humminbird are Helix 9s, not Helix 7s, and so they have more down imaging capability. Well, let's see what else here. I don't think there was anything on that side. Some nice upgrades though by them on the trailer. One of the things I did on the motor is I put this on. And this measures my RPMs. The main thing I wanted to do it for is for hours of use. So I'm at 9.6 hours of use on here. It's real simple. All you do is wrap it around one of your spark plug wires. That's it. It's seamless. 14 bucks. So well worth the money. I also had the same thing installed on my big motor, and I'm trying to think the name of it. It'll come to me. But I loaded the app onto my phone, and you can get on there and measure the hours, speed, RPMs, make lists of pre-boat checkout, all kinds of stuff you can do on it. So it was 200 bucks. Really simple to mount. You just pop off the cover, it goes in right up here. Very simple, but well worth the money. I was talking about the motor earlier, and the system I put on there is called Vessel View, and you can get it right through Bass Pro. I had them install it because they had the boat, but it's very, very easy to install. Just take the cover off, it just pops right in there. It's a real piece of cake. Put the app on, do all kinds of stuff on it. So, okay, back with you inside the boat, and a few things to start is 14 bucks. Couldn't believe it. Aluminum machined. It's just the nut for your washer for your trolling motor. Looks nice. Supposedly it cuts down on vibration. I don't know if that's true or not, but 14 bucks, can't beat it. One of the upgrades that Bass Pro did was, like I was talking about, is the Hummingbirds. These are now Helix 9s, and they also have covers, Helix 9. Before they were Helix 7s. They got more capability, more down imaging capability, and they have the covers on them. So, I think Bass Pro really took into account some of the things that customers had to say, and they made some really nice changes to this boat. They put in better magnets. This is all different. The whole console, all the way around on both sides, is different. It's different mold, different material, but they put really good magnets in here now. So these doors don't swing open. Before they swung open when you were just driving down the road. Now they don't. It's really very good. All kinds of storage on this boat. I looked at Fisher, I looked at Aluminacraft, Lund, and I got to tell you, for the money, which is $10,000 to $20,000 less, I spent on this boat, and it has everything that those boats have and more storage. I'll show you the rod storage capability in a minute, but everything I need is on this boat. It is set up for bass, walleye, wiper, trout, mackinaw. I can do anything on this boat, and everything's on here, and you can't even see it. And I can lock it all up, so if I leave it down at the dock overnight, everything's locked. I don't have to worry about stuff getting stolen. I don't have to haul stuff out. So it's really a sweet deal. Okay, coming back here, show you a few things. And so, like I said, they redid the whole dash. This is higher, so your monitor sits up higher. You got a nice little shelf here that it didn't have before. You got a pocket over there you can put your cell phone in if you don't want to put it in there. They changed the steering wheel, it really doesn't matter much. They made 3 glove boxes, so you got this one, another one, and then another one down below here, which is really nice. You can see this one right here. Okay, and then you got these storage compartments underneath. Not real big, but big enough to store, if you got first aid kit and some straps, maybe a light, stuff like that. On the other side, underneath here is your electrical components. So the only thing I have on there is some straps. That's all. I don't want to put really anything in there with all that electrical down there. So, but again, I went and bought some additional locks for everything. This is where I keep my front rods. So I got 3 spinning rods and a bait cast rod in there. You can see they're all fully geared up and ready to go. I can put 3 more in there if I want. So that's 4 rods. And then on each aft, on each side, each gunnel, not aft, but in the aft, in each gunnel, you got room for 3 rods. 9-foot rods on the side. So I have 2 fly rods on this side. I have my rod for my downrigger. On the other side, I have 3 trolling rods. lead line trolling rods. So right now I have 10 rods on the boat, and you know, I could put more on if I want, but I really don't need it. One of the extra things I did is, Ty, if you'll show down here, they put the, and this was smart, instead of taking up room in this storage compartment down here, they put the oars down alongside here, and they're, you know, they got clips on them and they're all in. So I had an extra oar, so I bought the clips, and I put 2 in here. You know, if I have to row in this thing, it's not going to be a fun time, but if I do, I got 2 oars. The only thing that I have a problem with, and if you want to get this right here, Ty, is right here. You know, this is can be a little dangerous. You have a drink down here, and here's your throttle, and a couple times I've almost thrown some people off the back. I go down to get my drink, boom, and I hit it with my elbow. So that's the one thing I think they could reconfigure so it's a little more ergonomically correct, because right now it can't. You got to be aware of it, otherwise you'll end up doing what I did. Yeah, so I rigged up, you know, pretty much all of the rod holders with this system that Tracker has, the slotted system. It's really nice. So I got 4 of those on. I got a rod holder there. I got holders for all my pliers right over here. Of course, my downrigger. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what I did here. I found this on the internet. Nice little measuring device. Then I had a nice little flat ruler that's a 24 incher, that's a 36 incher. So I put that on there. Again, all kinds of storage. You know, I got my downrigger stuff in there. And then here, I got everything. I mean, I got my gear for whatever type of fishing I'm doing, it's in here, and it's really slick. I put a lock on this myself. It doesn't come with a lock. All you got to do, though, is you just got to cut a hole in the side here, right? So that this locking mechanism will go in there. So that's what I did. That way, every compartment I have, with the exception of this aft live well, which of course I couldn't cut a hole, has a lock on it. Everything else has a lock on it. So really a slick system. The battery, this is another enhancement Bass Pro did. They put a on-off switch for your battery, main on-off switch. Didn't have that before, and I think Trevor may have had something to do with that. But I do know that Trevor did the rest of the work I'm going to talk about right now, and he did an excellent job. You can see how tight and nice everything is back here as far as my line for my kicker motor, as far as the mechanism for steering my kicker motor. You know, my 21 stuff was all over out here on the back deck of the transom, and this is all nice and tight and out of the way. I have a 3-bank charger on the boat because I have 2 electric trolling motor batteries up there, and then I have the main battery here for the main motor. Now I also have another battery here, and I know Trevor did this, and what he did was he installed this battery isolator. And what the battery isolator does is that when I'm charging, when I have this plugged in and I'm charging the system, I'm going to make sure I talk about that. This also charges off the main battery. So I really have a 4-bank charger in here, not a 3-bank. It all charges just from simply plugging it in. It's really nice. And then when the main motor's running, it's also charging this battery as well, which is really important because it has power steering, and the power steering is powered from this battery. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Now you come up here, Ty. Before, another enhancement they made, you had to plug it in down here to plug your batteries in. Now it's right out here, right outside. Right here, Ty. So all you got to do is just sit there and plug it in. So like when I cover the boat up tonight, because I'm going tomorrow, I can still just leave it plugged in. Don't have to worry about taking the cover off to get that out. So pretty slick deal. Last thing I kind of want to show you here is you can see that I have a beamy top, and I got the whole surround. I got the whole surrounds thing, and when you buy that, the entire cockpit or inside of the boat, the aft, all the way back to the motor, even back to here, you can close in. You can close in the whole thing. Now on top of that, you also have a cover for the whole bow, and it also comes down and covers everything here. So I've been in a rainstorm and not got any water in the boat at all. So it's really nice when you, especially if you got to leave it overnight and you leave it out, obviously. You put that on, you can get up and you don't have frost all over the boat or whatever, and completely dry inside. So that is really slick. That's, you know, when the boat came, Trevor in service had to install the kicker motor, which he did a great job. And then they also had to have all the rivets installed for the whole surround cover. And when we go back down, I'll just have Ty show you real quick. They did an awesome job. That the rivets are all underneath the gunnels. You don't see them on the side of the boat, and everything, it just snaps. It's slick as heck. And I keep that, like I said, I'm ready to fish. Tomorrow I'm going fishing, and I'm ready to go. I don't have anything that I have to load on the boat at all. But so this is nice because you can put all your, you know, stuff you need in here, hooks, whatever. But here's down here is the complete surround system. You know, so all I gotta do is take that out. It all fits down here, slick as can be. And yeah, we'll be ready to go tomorrow. Don't have anything but load the people on and some sandwiches and whatever you want to drink. So I keep saying the last thing, but I do have one more thing for you here. If you look at right in here, this is a forward live well. Got the rear live well, that's 35 gallons in the back. But this is the forward one. I use it for something else. That's where I stock all my drinks and stuff in there. And you load that with ice and it stays nice and cool all day long. So like I said, more than enough storage. Right down here is storage for all my life jackets. I got mechanic's toolkit in there. You know, I keep my ropes and everything else or whatever in these two compartments up front. So everything's really good, and lots and tons of storage. I couldn't be happier with that, that's for sure. So back with you again. Here I want to show you, these are the rivets underneath, and you can see how nice this is. On my other boat, they were here and some of them weren't aligned, but this is nice and tight. Just very clean, professional looking. So yeah. So a couple things that I wanted to digress back to that I forgot to tell you about. One is these straps for the beamy top. On the previous model, they came over the windshield and they were attached right here. In fact, you can see them right on that other side. That's still where the attachment point used to be. Now the attachment point is here. Before you had to come up front and tighten it down. Here you can do it right from sitting in your chair or your passenger right here. Pull that, the wing gets going really hard, you really need to get it down tighter, you pull it right here. So that's really a nice new enhancement. One of the other things I did, which is pretty arduous task, is putting on a keel guard. So I put this one on. I got it from Gator. Gator's who I recommend you get yours through. The other manufacturer said that if you have this type of system on your boat with this on the keel itself, that they don't recommend using it. But Bass Pro also endorses the Gator guard. So this I put on. I'm not going to go into details. Any questions, give me a call. There's several videos out on that. I suggest you watch them. I watched 3 of them before I put it on, and it was very helpful. So that was really it. Earlier I alluded to on the motor about a system that, so that's the 2023 Targa Tournament Edition, and I hope the review was helpful. If you have any questions about anything about the boat or whatever, let me know. The other thing is the trolling motor is an 80-pound thrust. I run that 8 hours a day without a problem. So yeah, any questions or anything else, comments, feel free to put them below. Have a good day.